Yeah.
We need, with red lights up here to know that we're live too.
Yeah. A microphone is like a gun, it's always loaded, it's always loaded. There are people, some people that have had hard time learning that, okay. I thought she said this was running, but I don't see it. Where's the switch? Where's too dang many buttons on it.
In fact, we probably need to do that.
If we make that any more difficult? This meeting, the Wichita County Commissioner will be a non-voting session. I think three things on the agenda today. We're going to look at the bills, payroll, and start out with the regular bills. I can get those pulled up. The only thing we know for sure is we wish they were less.
That came in on Wednesday.
Came on Wednesday, I imagine.
Yeah, it was Wednesday afternoon.
Email from Margaret, that must be it.
Margaret, on my safety clean for precinct 2, just so you know, I set them up on yearly.
Okay.
They've been sending me bills, I think every month or 2 months or
Right.
something. I was quite irritated, but anyway, they've been told yearly, so I'm hoping not to see any more of these
Okay.
for another year. So if
What
you
is
see
that?
anything, let me know.
I will.
Do you know what that is, Mickey? What does that run?
$181 a service.
Okay, you do it monthly.
Well, not by choice. I had told them a long time ago I wanted it 6 months,
Yeah, you
and
don't.
it didn't seem to get done properly, so. I'm gonna set it up on yearly, and if we need a 5-gallon bucket of naphtha or something extra, we'll just go buy one, and that service is kind of outrageous price.
You know what I found in my own shop, that if you, how big is it one of the big ones?
It's the top's that big.
I took me an old piece of rubber, like an old inner tube, and cut it out, and when I'm not using it, I just throw that over the top, and it doesn't let it evaporate.
Yeah.
In the summertime, you'd be surprised how much of that stuff will escape.
Yeah, it
And
would.
just covering that up just shuts that, because you may go 2 or 3 days and never use it.
We might go 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. And it's just sitting there evaporating. If you shut that off and cover it up, it sure makes a difference. And besides that, it's good for the environment. Mel, I had somebody call this last week on and I don't know if you've done any research on this or not, speed limits on county roads. Isn't there a procedure you have to go through to change that? Have you ever?
There's I've looked back through on the River Road discussion, and it has to go through court, but to do that first, you have to do there's a road study involved,
Yeah,
a DOT road.
Well, Mark was in there the other morning when that call came in, and that's kind of, I was just wondering if we had left any of I think you have to do a public meeting, and so it's not just going out there and hanging up another sign, I guess is the point I'm trying to make, so.
I can do the speed study if we get the equipment from UTA.
What does that consist of?
Counts
and speeds.
And speeds.
So you actually go do it like
You can do it with a radar, you can do it with a speed counter.
We've had to do them at the city. I know traffic units done them for y'all.
Yeah,
Would go do them for traffic. I guess y'all do your own some too.
yeah, we did our own, had speed counters.
Okay. But there is a procedure in place to
It's
go
not,
and,
it's not that difficult.
okay. I went and looked at it after we had that conversation. I drove out there and looked at the location, and it's posted 40, which is probably adequate if people would drive 40, but 40 means 60, and that's where the road
What road
comes in.
is it?
It's not Wellington, it's Huntington.
Huntington? The problem with something like Huntington, and I did a speed study on the city's part of Huntington before, it's getting and generating enough traffic to get
Yeah.
a viable sample.
But when I drove it, I didn't meet another vehicle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a
You-
big
you're gonna-
sample. So,
You're gonna have to, you really need 120 cars minimum for a viable sample, so you're gonna,
There might not be
120
120 cars
cars,
a day.
yeah,
Yeah.
and more than half a day.
and the reason I'm asking this is I want to respond and let them know what we didn't just say no and forget about it, but
Can't really make a decision about it here.
yeah. Oh, no.
No. Just,
But there is.
just asking a question.
But back to the,
Yeah.
but there is a procedure in place to
Yeah.
do it if we need to do it. That's the deal. So we would put it on the agenda and
Yeah, it would be.
work it through, and, okay.
And in my experience with those like that, they're probably gonna find out that the 85th percentile is gonna be higher than the set speed limit and leaves you in a conundrum.
When you
That's-
raise it to 55, they're not gonna be happy.
You're really only supposed to vary plus or minus 5 from the 85th.
So maybe a patrol car would have the same effect.
That's, yeah.
Okay. Send Mickey out there on a motorcycle.
No. Way past that.
But that's usually the case. When somebody's complaining about speeding and you do a speed study, you're gonna find out, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And survey says our 85th is higher than the set speed limit.
Yeah, my experience was if you drove the 40, that was pretty, 30 is extremely slow when you're traveling
My next question would be, what's the accident rate?
yeah.
0. So it's what a prudent driver would expect to be driving is what the 85th would be.
Well, those roads, so many of them are just not that one in particular, but some of them have got so much more traffic on them now than they were ever designed for. It does create a problem. It's hard to have two full-size SUVs meet at 70 miles an hour on a 15-foot 15-foot road.
On a 15-foot county road that's marked at 40 miles.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's kind of the problem.
Well, a popular trend in traffic engineering is to shrink lane size, so you slow traffic down. It's called road diet.
Really?
Yeah. So,
That seems kind of counterproductive.
no,
doesn't it? I
you
mean,
slow down, if you're accustomed to driving in a 12-foot lane and all of a sudden you got a 9-foot lane, it looks more daunting, so you slow down.
No different than if you put a line of cones alongside the road.
Yeah.
People will slow down naturally just for that. They can be not even on the road, but they'll slow down 10 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah. They're scared they're gonna hit a cone.
Yeah, so you'll see, particularly Austin uses it a lot, where they'll paint out a lane where it's an optical illusion. You still got the full road surface there, but they're moving you into a narrower area of actual travel way, and the net result is slowing traffic down.
Mickey, what's the biggest speeding ticket you ever wrote when you were
121, I think.
121?
Most
That
time, if you catch somebody over that, they're not gonna stop for you. It's hard to catch them.
Good point.
I mean, I've clocked some higher, but they get to Oklahoma before I can catch them.
121 and a 40?
No, that's out there on Central.
No, yeah. That's a 70.
60.
If you're at 121 on a 60, I think you're full well realize you're driving over the speed limit, probably.
Usually when you see the red and blue lights, you immediately go to about 140 to 150.
You go to whatever you got, I guess.
Oops.
Oops. Okay. Human nature.
People that are driving 80 hit the brakes. People that are driving 120 hit the gas.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
It still amazes me driving down 287, how big a traffic impediment there is for a patrol car to be driving along, because nobody will pass. No matter if he can be driving 55 and everybody's hanging back. You have to stack it up pretty good.
That's
Okay. Anything leap out at you on the bills, guys?
No, I've just finished up.
I've kind of been through them, and
Yeah, when you're doing a radar speed study, it's pretty funny because if they see you, they'll slow down. And you put it on audible and you can hear them slow down. So that's why at City we switched to roadway embedded trackers, so they no one ever see us there.
any questions or comments on the bills?
No, sir.
If not, we will move to payroll. Get that pulled up. Okay,
Payroll.
I saw it. What day was that? Was that
I can go back. Thursday at 10:50.
Thursday at 10:50? Sure enough, there it is. Victor, anything jump out at you on this deal? Or Corey, you're here too.
A little bit slightly more overtime. Comes and goes, looks like.
Slightly more in the jail.
Yeah.
Got to that yet.
Across the board.
There's 1% on our tax rate. Pretty close. $0.01 per pay period.
All labor.
Yeah, yeah. $0.26. Rough math.
Look at the overtime hours.
Yes, they're a little bigger. Numbers are up too, they're showing 471. The jail population.
Will, you on?
I don't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Will, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Raise his hand.
Probably not.
He's unmuted now.
I think I'm unmuted.
There you go. Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
are loud and clear.
Okay.
I
I
know
just took a second to get there.
this is part, this discussion and part of the next item, but, our maintenance guys seem to be getting a lot of overtime. We've got problems that
Well,
we need.
they're also working they're working one of their 2 days off in the jail.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, that's right, they are
We had some
certified.
issues with a couple weeks ago when we started having we had power failure with the intermediate electricity problems, that went down 287 towards Jolly.
Yeah,
We've had 4 water heater pumps, hot water pumps go out. So they've been having to replace those. They pump the water from the tanks back towards the pods. And I think that they were all, it seemed to be that they were all went out right after all the power problems we had.
was it,
And then we had one of the rooftop units, circuit board went out during those power outages.
okay.
It's easy to do when you get them power surges and power outage.
And when we're redoing those RTUs, we're moving those control boards and everything to the different location. And we're getting those harnesses and everything, so.
Yes.
Good, so
that's correct.
we should be those problems should be corrected moving forward then.
Yeah.
Good,
We've just about moved them all, if we haven't already.
okay. Good.
Will, is the, generator doing, is it kicking on properly, everything when you get those
Oh, yeah.
outages?
Yeah, as soon as the power went out, it kicked on.
Good.
It kicks on within, probably half a second or 1 second. It's pretty quick.
We need to fuel it up before the spring weather weather comes, or,
I'll double check. I know we put 1,000 gallons in right before, like probably November or December. And, they probably got us to half a tank. So we'll probably have, at that time, we probably had 3,500 gallons in there, but I'll have Ryder check that this week and see where we stand at on how much we have been there.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause we're moving into the season.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately.
Yeah. That brings up an interesting question. Could we swap over and have an electric powered generator? That sounds kind of funny, doesn't it?
What?
An electric powered generator.
It's carbon zero.
Carbon zero, that's right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that because somebody will jump on that. So. As we look through this payroll, I guess all of you have heard the story about the guy that was managing the manufacturing plant, and he just said the payroll was too high and he was going to cut back on some people, and people weren't being very efficient. So he walks out in the shop and sees an old boy standing over there, and he said, "What do you make a week?" He said, $400. And he said, he goes back in, gets $1,600. He said, "Here's your severance pay. You're fired." The boy walked out the door. He turned around, looked at one of the other workers, and he said, "By the way, what was his job?" He said, "He was the pizza delivery guy from Domino's." Uh-oh.
Nice tip.
Nice tip, absolutely. So don't do that, Will. Don't
No,
run
not at all.
off the delivery guy. All right, guys, any more questions
No,
on
we don't.
payroll? Mark, or is that it for jail
That's,
maintenance?
well, I was payroll.
Oh,
I asked a
the,
question on,
Yeah.
the roll-up door on the
yeah,
sally port's gonna have to be replaced.
Ooh.
replaced totally?
Yeah, they pretty well tore it up.
DDC gonna pay for it?
The TDCJ will have to pay for it. We'll
Yeah.
have to work it with them.
Have they got it where we can get in and out of it right now, or?
No, it's shut and it's not coming back up.
Okay.
You have to go through the walk-through door.
Oh, boy.
I don't know how, I watched the video. I mean, that was really stupid.
Bad thing about those doors, that's a steel roll door,
Yeah.
and once they bend, you can't fix a section of it.
Yeah.
You know, would it, I know we're gonna continue to use that for the ongoing future. Would it?
Well, we
would
will
it-
always have to use
Yeah,
that. For
would it be helpful to, like we just talked about here in Commissioner's Court, to put a red light up in front of, where you can see it from the drivers, that the door is down, the door is not, with that red light's on, you don't back out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something. Either put the barn doors on it.
You're talking about the one here.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
it just wasn't all the way
Yeah.
up when they backed into it. It was almost.
it was
all the way.
moving,
Yeah.
the door
It
was moving.
It went too soon.
But that's what I say, if the red light's on, you can see it from the driver's seat when you get in, that don't back up sign,
Till the light goes off.
till the light goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be that difficult,
That'd be the
front-
best thing to do. Put it on that front wall.
put on the front wall. That wouldn't be that difficult, cause you just take contact off the limit switches on the door and close another relay and turn the light on. This has happened 4 or 5 times since I've been here, at least.
Oh, at least.
At least,
It's happened it's happened since they put the doors up
yeah.
40 years ago.
What about backing in?
Well, when we get all the construction done down there, we'll have in and out. We'll have,
Oh, okay.
We'll be
Yeah.
able to in and outdoors.
I got
We've
you.
got the outdoor shut right now.
I got it.
because of construction.
But can you maneuver that bigger van around the turn and pull out that way, or is that just for really more for cars?
If everything's out of there, that van can pull in and, quarter itself back out.
Okay.
We've had, I think on the big van, I think we've always just pulled it in and back
Pulled
it
it
back out.
Yeah,
Okay.
which was the case this time,
Pull it in and turn around.
because that was a bigger van, and I don't think they would be able to make that turn. But it would be something worth exploring, just looking into putting a warning light with or lighted signs, yeah. When,
You know, we've had them hit the exit door going out, driving forward, because they didn't wait long enough for
Yeah.
it to go up. So.
yeah. Or put a audible alarm on it when that door is moving,
It's beeping.
yeah. One or the other, I mean, this keeps happening too often, and just watching that video, that was just complete stupidity.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the whole deal. You can't put enough safety features on there to stop that.
No, but,
Yeah, you can't fix that.
Right
Well, it's like the one trying to beat the door at the LEC, that company,
yeah.
trying to beat it down.
Yeah, I kind of felt sorry for the poor sergeant or whatever, whoever he was that was working with them. He says, I'm shorthanded, and now I'm going to be even more shorthanded.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
I have actually hit an overhead, Mickey, with a tractor exhaust pipe. Same scenario, it was going up and I'm looking back to back in, and you're not watching out in front of you, and it clipped it.
My box,
I mean,
warehouse, I hit
it
my
happens.
I hit my door with a my box.
I get it, it does happen.
It was just stupid.
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself.
I knew better, and I just did it anyway, so.
This one wasn't even close. The door was still in motion.
That was mine. Ran right into it. $4,000 door.
So, when are they going to replace it, Will?
They've already, Overhead's already started the ordering process to get it ordered.
Okay.
Just like everything else, we'll see it sometime in the fall, maybe.
That's really going to hamper everything. Y'all's
On Hammer's
operation.
report, like this morning, I think they had 20 some odd going to port. Which means they have to unload them outside and escort them up the sidewalk into the Sally Port.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think they'll have that probably replaced, I bet within a month or 6 weeks. But I don't know for a fact. Who
Okay.
knows anymore?
Okay. Well, maybe we need to have that conversation with Overhead Door about putting some kind of warning device on it. And just moving forward, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's put an extra layer so we don't have to maybe deal with it as often.
It's about once every 18 months, it seems like we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Anything
Will.
else?
No, I
You're
think,
welcome.
you got anything else, Mark, on? Okay, we've got bills, we've got salaries and overtime and jail maintenance. Anything else to come before the court this morning? Hearing nothing,
Anybody out there?
it is 10:28 and we are adjourned.